Yo, what's up, everybody? YouTube, Facebook, everybody. How you guys doing? Obviously, I'm like a few minutes late, but technically, I'm actually a whole hour early. We usually start these at 9 p.m. and I text my guys. I'm like, y'all ready? Why y'all not in the chat? And they like, it starts at 8, but it actually starts at 9. It's all good. So they coming in right now. Where's everybody from? Let's chit chat a little bit before they get ready. Actually, I'm gonna bring on a special guest tonight too. One of my good guys that I call all the time just for like knowledge. So it's gonna be a fun show, like the kickback. Somebody said Nas is at the dentist. Nah, it's my fault, man. It's my fault. We thought it was 8, which is the time I usually go, but it's 9. So typically we do this at 9, but we're doing it at 8 tonight. Hell, we might stay a little longer. Ain't that right, Matt? My man is out there in Warner Robins, out there in Georgia. That's what's up. I like that. New York City's in the house. Dallas, Texas in the house. We live, baby. Hey, let's bring up Nas. My man Nas is early, yo. What's up, Nas?
What's going on, bro?
So as you know, it's usually 9 o'clock. I text y'all like, wait, it's right now. So yeah, that was our fault. We usually do 9 o'clock, and it's been a long day. So I guess we've been advertising 8 o'clock all week. My bad.
Now it's all good because your team is so good and always on it. I can't even be mad. You know what I mean? A little tiny mistake.
Look, you can run to the grocery store early tonight or something. You're done early. I ain't have to change up. You ain't have to change up none of your BBW appointments, right?
Nah. I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Word. Somebody said Nas at the dentist. Not at 8. Not at 8. Nas is good. You'll see that smile. No longer need that dentist other than checkups.
Yeah, I definitely need the checkups, bro. You know what I'm saying? Gotta take care of that mouth. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
So, come on, man.
Gotta take care of that mouth, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude told me this. I remember one time I was chilling the block, bro. This was a true story, bro. He was like, I can't believe people really don't take care of their teeth because you gotta eat one for the rest of your life. I'm like, yo, that makes a lot of sense. Yo, and this is coming from like straight up hood dude. Y'all know you what he was in the block doing. So, like, and I'm like, bro, if he's saying this, then I need to listen to my father more. So, you know what I mean? And, you know, fortunately, I still got all my teeth. You know what I mean? All praises due. You know what I'm saying?
All 84 of them in there.
Like, yeah, so because where I'm from in Jersey, bro, by 30, man, Joker's teeth be going, bro. So yeah,
man, I feel you on that. While we killing time, let's talk about like some current events. What's going on that you seen that's kind of keep it clean.
But I mean, the big thing is the Nick Cannon situation. That's the big thing.
So what happened? I heard he got dropped.
Okay, so he made a statement. I don't know the details. So he made a statement, right? And his statement apparently offended people. So Viacom dropped him. So
it's a big show.
Yeah, and if you know anything about Viacom actually owns not only MTV, VH1, a bunch of them, and they own BET. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they own BET too. So Nickelodeon, all that. So he made some statements because dude is, I mean, essentially he's really not black. He makes chess moves. Really smart, intelligent guy. Makes some very strategic moves. So with that being said, fortunately, he got an offer from Diddy at Revolt to bring the Wild 'N Out show over to Revolt. So with that being, that's his show. That's his show. So he's executive producer and all that. Like that's his joint. So
I guess that ends up, it's a blessing in disguise, I guess, if he go move over from Viacom and it's a powerful show, and he goes on to Diddy's network, and they can work something out. You know, it is what it is.
I'm gonna tell you like this. This is my personal opinion, and this is the importance to everybody on the call. This is important because when we see things, I don't know the exact statements you made, but when we see things we don't like, and essentially, we know sometimes the law and the rules, people can be more harsher on people of color, rather than every than other races. So they'll be a little bit harder on us. But this is the importance of ownership, because you have a person like Diddy can stand up and say, "Hey, yo, bro, you can come over to my channel." So it's really important that we continue to own and grow. But I think this is a great opportunity for Netflix to make an offer, Hulu to make an offer, Amazon Prime to make an offer to get his stuff. Reason being, the reason I say that, mind you, the dude Joe Rogan, he got $100 million. Not only did he get $100 million for 5 years from Spotify, he also received freedom of speech. He can say like freedom of speech. They can't get rid of him for saying certain things or his opinion.
He can't say something that's like detrimental that they don't like and they cut him type of thing.
Right, exactly. So you got freedom of speech in that contract too. So this is, I'm quite sure. I don't know. I'm not an avid watcher a while now. I don't get to watch a lot of TV. We talk about that, Max, so we don't get to watch a lot of TV. But the show been running 15 years. So they keep the show for 15 years.
Has it been 15 years?
15 years, bro.
Wow.
So them to keep the show for 15 years tells you, the show was pretty successful, because if it was successful, they had to cut it 14 years ago.
Hey, I see Justin in here. Hey, Justin, if you at the studio or you have a home set up, let me know, man. I would like to have you on tonight, because I think V said he's coming on because he's jumping over to his office. But yeah, in the meantime, like I said, everybody, we came on a hour early. My team and I messed up and put it out that we were coming on at 8. It's usually 9 o'clock. But Nas was here as soon as I texted in the group. He was like, I'm here. CJ is getting ready to come on right now. He probably at I don't know where he at, but he said he's running back to the office. But that to segue into that conversation about ownership, that's why it's also important to own real estate. The same conversation, right? Is like you can't be forced out, or gentrification can't happen if you own it. If you own it, you have a choice or not to sell. Where gentrification is bad is when you don't own it, and just because you've been there for 20 years, like Nick Cannon, right? You think that, it's yours. When reality is you wake up one morning and the rug's pulled from underneath you because somebody doesn't see fit or whatever that situation is. So, it's like you said, pushing the topic of ownership and whatever it is.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because he had this exact same conversation with Vlad, Nick Cannon. I don't know if it was last year, the year before last, but he has a network around $50-60 million. He owns his own studio in LA. In California. I don't know if it's in LA, but he owns his own studio. And he was pushing that narrative of owning, of you gotta own just what you said, so that you can have multiple platforms. And he's like, yo, he was going into details. I don't know if it was on Vlad or Breakfast Club. Like, yo, Wild 'N Out is mine. The some stuff he got on Nickelodeon, that's actually his. It's his work. So yeah, it's going to be multiple offers to get his stuff. I feel, I think we're in a climate where it's like, yo, let's okay. So we're not a big network. We're on a streaming platform. We can give this guy freedom of speech. We gave Dave Chappelle freedom. He's probably the only comedian that got freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Anybody else say the stuff that Dave said, canceled. But Netflix is giving him the money to, to continually do these stand-ups, which be hilarious. So with that being said, man, I think that this can be a blessing in disguise, and I hope it is for him. And I just hope a lot of people realize, we got to own, man. As simple as that. Like Tyler Perry, I forgot the name of BET streaming service, but yeah, Tyler Perry gives them content. However, He's a owner in that BET streaming service.
Oh, he does. So he wanted to own the piece of it.
Yeah, that streaming service, he has a piece in that. Yeah, he owns a piece of that. Because again, they know this guy has the content. Why not give him an ownership deal? Like, yo, bro, look, we just gonna let you, buy into the company so we can get all your content. Because they know if he own it, by default, he gonna give him continuous content.
That makes sense. I'm looking for Justin's email just in case he's around. But have you moved into your new house yet?
Bro, nah, man. I'm still in the old joint, man. I still got the old background back of me, but now I'm still in the old joint. So
you have a new background and everything?
I got background. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it's gonna make you jealous or nothing, but that's not like on the Maxwell level, he gonna be like, oh, my boy stepped up in life. So yeah, man. For all those who don't know, man, I'm moving back to the hood. So moving back to the hood, I'm excited about it, and we'll see what this has in store.
That's crazy. Here's a crazy thing. You say that when you say you move back in the hood, what you talking about? Like the area?
Yeah, I'm about the area, bro. It's definitely, I mean, yeah.
So, here's the crazy thing. I bought 20 acres here in Winston, and I'm building my house. And what I build is I bought 20 acres, which is hard to find a 20-acre plot.
Absolutely.
So what I would do is people are like, yo, why are you buying land over here? I said, first of all, show me where you can buy 20 acres in the city, and then I'll buy that too. But you can't buy 20 acres in the city unless it's been handed down to you, because the people that own it now are not selling anything, and most of them don't even have a 20-acre plot anyway. But right. I'm building 20 acres is what considered maybe the hood area. It's not the west side of town. It's not the best side of town, but 20 acres and building my own thing at where they would consider the hood. So it's gonna be crazy. I'm having my horses come out there, the whole nine. But the way I'm thinking is 15 years down the road, 10, 15 years, it's gonna be worth crazy amount of money. They're gonna be trying to give me everything they can to try to build on those 20 acres. And I'm gonna be that guy with you going down the streets and you see somebody with a whole block. That's what it's gonna be. Somebody said you moving closer to the BBWs. Is it true?
Not necessarily, because it's closer to the downtown area. So with that being said, man, that downtown area here, bro, it costs $100 to own now. So nah.
Yo, what happened? Yo, Nas, your internet is bumpy today. I'm gonna give you that at best. Like the flight up this morning.
He in a new house?
Nah, in a new house yet.
That's why I just asked him. He not in a new house.
I think what it might be is because of it's been some blackouts and stuff over here. Cause my stuff, like you coming to choppy and me, I'm like, I know this ain't Max internet. Max got that high quality.
I hope not. And Nas, Justin told me to ask you about James Scruggs.
Yo, he's certified. Yeah, certified. Yeah, they had him on Vincent podcast. I don't have a personal relationship with him, but bro, that guy, bro, yeah, he's serious.
What did he do? Because I don't know the story. What's up, Ryan Harper?
Hey, Ryan, what's good, bro? So basically, he started off as a residential investor, and now he does GC and does commercial projects. He's a developer, etc. Yeah. He has about $40 million of projects in the pipeline. So yeah, man, he's just moving and grooving out here.
Yeah, is he North Carolina?
Charlotte, yeah.
Got it, yeah.
Yeah,
we need to get you. You got to get us to the table with him, man.
Yeah, Vince has the personal relationship with him.
Oh, yeah, we got to make that happen.
Yeah, you're Vince, man. They go way back.
I didn't know. Oh, that is right.
They go way back.
Yeah, you got to set that up, man.
Yeah. We gonna make that happen. Yeah, he told me. Yeah. You're right. I remember now, for sure. And that's what you got to do, man. He said all the properties he bought was in the hood, in quotation, air marks.
Yeah, he caught Charlotte like when hood stuff was like 30, 40, 50. So Now, so for example,
In Charlotte,
huh?
like downtown Charlotte.
Yeah, on the outskirts of downtown. On the outskirts of downtown. He did strategically.
He
So
bought everything.
yeah, so
He doing all right.
now he's doing great because he was like, like some spots he owned in. I mean, they'll buy dirt, for $250. So some spots,
man.
and you build a $700,000 house at that price point. So, but yeah, man, he bought at the right time, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's my goal. Is so as far as where I'm at now, where my 20 acres is, and we're building, man, I'm looking to buy every house on the street. And that's where we're going with that. So, man, it's cool, man. I'll be honest with you, it's a little nerve-wracking building a house. I mean, only because it's such a big project that we're disturbing out of the 20 acres, we're disturbing like 17.
Yeah, that land disturbance ain't no joke, man.
So I had to do a personal guarantee to the state. You had to do a bond. A bond. Yeah, I had to do a bond to the state for anything that I messed up.
Yep.
As far as like sediments being pushed into the creek, because I got a creek on my property, towards the back and stuff like that. But they made me spend about $12,000 to get an engineer to draw up a erosion control plan. Then they made me spend $50,000 to get the erosion control plan put in. And that was something I did not know anything about. CJ didn't tell me nothing about that one.
Hey, man, I tried to give you all the heads up I could, man.
Man, you ain't telling me about no erosion control plan.
Hey, listen, I've had to deal with that too many times. It's a headache. It's a hassle, especially when you got 17 acres, man. So you had to put up a silt fence, right?
What? Let me tell
how
you
much you can spend just on the silt fence.
I tell you, to put the entire project, to put the erosion control in was over $52,000. Right. So 52,000. Now, here's the crazy thing that y'all don't understand, that it's temporary.
Yeah, we're talking about a plastic temporary fence.
So plastic fence and then ponds. They made me dig sediment ponds, 4 of them on the property.
And you have to do 4?
4. Remember, I'm disturbing 17 out of 20 acres. They made me put 4 sediment ponds in the property. And soon as I get done with that section of the property and I seed it and grass it, I can cover it up. So you want to talk about money that you just literally throwing away. But It is what it is. So I got the quote from my fence today, 2 days ago, to put my fence up at the property. The material alone is $60,000.
Damn.
And then another almost $40,000 to put it in.
Hey, yo, my fence was.
I'm gonna go move in with Nas, man.
Yo, my fence was $13 a square, right? I got a big lot, $13 a square, bruh. Just my fence was $4,200, and then you telling me your materials like $60. Damn.
Yeah. So my fence is $1,329 a foot. And I have 4,350 linear feet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which is a good price per foot. You got so much land.
Yeah, but that's not install.
Oh man, I thought that was with the install, man.
No. That's material shipped from. I went with Buckley Fencing. Now I did go with an all steel fence, so that it's no maintenance ever. It's done.
Yeah.
But
it's got a power watch. It's one of them joints you got power watch.
You gotta do nothing. No. So you got a privacy fence.
Yeah, I got privacy. Yeah.
I got horse fence. I don't know if y'all can see this. I have a horse fence. All them lights in the way. And I got horse fence. Anyway, I'll never do that again in my life.
Nah, I feel that, man.
So, CJ, what's new with you, man? How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm working, man. I got this webinar I've been getting ready for tomorrow.
What's that about?
Man, so I got Charged Up University, my coaching group. We crossed 100 students the other week, and I was booked out with calls for people to join because I've been doing the calls personally myself, right?
Bless your soul.
Yeah, man. But I got to connect with the people, man. I got to make sure they're the right fit to be in my group. So I'm doing these calls 4 times a day. That's all I can muster is getting 4 in a day. And I'm like, man, this got to be easier way because I got people that's booked all the way through July, right? Like into August. So I decided to put a webinar together, startflippingdeals.com. You can go sign up to register 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'll talk to you about my coaching program, everything that comes with that, and see if it's an opportunity you guys want to take advantage of. So definitely go check it out. Go register. I'll put in the comments, startflippingdeals.com.
So is that so you only got to explain it one time?
Yeah, man, because, listen, man, Max, 4 calls a day. I'm talking to people.
Hey, you know that's the reason I don't have a coaching program.
Man. Yeah. So I said, I got to consolidate the effort, man. I got to get it. Let's get everybody on there at one time. Explain it all to them at one time. See if it makes sense. And the beautiful thing is we're helping people. I don't know how many deals my students did this week in the last 7 days, man. But one student had a $30,000 deal, $6,000 for another student. It's crazy. A lot of these is guys' first deals, man. So it's super, super awesome to see.
Yeah, that is a blessing, man. When I get those messages, it's a blessing. Hey, put James's question up there. And
Hey, Max, real quick, I got to shout you out. One of my students was on my IG Live last night, and we were talking about his first deal. And he talked about how much you helped him with your videos with his first deal. And he wanted me to make sure, Big Boss, salute you. He said that when he posted it in your group, he said when he saw me like it and you like it, he said he went crazy. He said he posted his first check when he got the first closing. He said he posted it in your group. He said you hit the like button. I came and hit the like button. He said he went crazy, man.
Man, because it's a blessing, man.
That's the best feeling, man.
Yeah, the type of relief it gives you after all that hustle, and you finally get to see it through, and then you still don't believe it, even though you got a closing date. When you physically have that check,
you gotta have the check, man.
So anybody that's starting out, I don't care what nobody say. Don't get them wires. Those first few deals, hold that check in your hand.
Yeah, you got to feel that.
Hold the check.
Feeling that check is serious. It's a serious feeling.
And then what you do is you hold that check in your hand and you say, how long would it take me to make this at my previous job or my current job? And then start changing the way you think about how to earn money. But let's look at James' question, because this is funny. So it's not funny, but I got a funny story. How can I build a legit relationship with you guys? I need a heavy hitters in my circle of influence. I can't be the average of the people I'm around now. I have to change that. So before we answer that, I let CJ or Nas answer that. So when Max was getting started, there was this guy in the same state I lived in Charlotte, right? And my man, I remember.
Oh man,
it was him. It was me and Derek, who was a district attorney who now has his own practice. So if you got any deals in North Carolina you want to close, make sure you hit up Great Star Legal. So Derek has a representative in my office. He closes my deals in my office. So Derek and I were like, yo, we need to get with this Nas guy. He's like, legit. And I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, we can do that. He right up the street. So I hit up Nas a few times in the DM. No answer.
Nas he be funny with those DMs.
I think he even left me on red.
Oh man.
But you know what happened though? I quickly realized I was doing what I shouldn't have been doing. So what I'm saying is I went direct for, hey, I think at that time he was taking crab legs for a meeting, right? So you had to buy lunch.
I remember.
But I was going direct to him with a help me, or I had no exchange, right? So I had no exchange. So when I approached him, I was approaching him wrong, and I had to regather myself and say, you know what? No, I need to add value to this brother so he can add value and be around me. So a lot of people thought in the beginning, Nas and I had beef because he was in Charlotte, I was in Winston, we're both in North Carolina, and I would say Duru, and he was the one who came up with the word Duru. At least from my stand, at least I knew that was the first time I heard it.
He's the first person I heard say it too.
Yeah, so a lot of people thought we were beefing because we didn't hang out. And it wasn't that I didn't want to hang out. He didn't want to hang out with me, or he didn't want to, he didn't answer my DMs. But how I approached him and through some mutual friends, I said, yo, I love to have him at We Live 18. Somebody reach out to him. I'll let him speak at We Live 18. I'll never forget it. My man showed up in the Timbs, in the all color
He had
jacket.
the WWE jacket, right?
Bro, yes, he had I think it was a Razor Ramon jacket.
Yeah.
My man got on stage and tore it down, bro, and left. So what I would say, James, on my version of it is find people that you want to be around and be like, and there's some people that you want in your circle, and find out how you can offer and exchange value. How can you bring value? And then it makes it a lot easier for you to grow your circle. CJ, what about you? What you think about? What would you do?
So I agree with you. And then I'm going to answer it a different way also, right?
Yeah.
But I agree with you 1,010%. Another way that has worked for me. So people meet me, right? And I just started doing online stuff recently when you kind of kicked me in the butt and got me out here helping people, right? Which I love. Before that, I was connected with basically every hitter in the entire industry, right? And so people always would ask me, man, you're never online. How do you know all these people? Guys, it's because I paid to be in the right rooms, right?
That too.
When I started making money in this business, I did not spend the money on myself. I didn't buy a bunch of fancy stuff and all of that. I reinvested it in myself, in my development, and also in my business. So what I did was I paid to be in masterminds. And Max, Naj, y'all know how expensive these masterminds could be, right?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm talking about I spent
20
5, 10, 15, sometimes a little bit more than that, 1,000 to be in a room and mastermind with other high-level people throughout the country, many times way, way bigger than me, right? But what that does is when you get in those rooms and you're masterminding with people and you pay to be in those rooms, you realize you're the same person as everybody else. We got similar stories. We got similar backgrounds. We got similar circumstances. And so you guys just naturally begin to build these relationships with each other, and you naturally become friends, right? And then those people introduce you to more people. I met Max through Antoine, right? You and I met when you spoke in DC or Maryland at Antoine's event. Me and you linked up. We got dinner that night, connected. Nas, I'm not going to say where we met.
At church.
Church. Yeah, absolutely, at church. Me and Nas met at church, and me and him got connected. We met through Facebook originally. And
he answered your DM.
Yeah, I think he was in my DM.
I must have been too dark.
We got connected under different circumstances later, right? But me and my guy got together, man. But my point is, you never know who's the next Nasir. You never know who's the next Maxwell, the next me, whatever you want to call it. You got to start actively building relationships with people right now. And when you hear about these masterminds, when somebody says they're charging $5,000 to get together, 10, 15, 20 people to connect, talk about your business, you can't look at that opportunity and say it doesn't make sense for me to pay $5,000 to be there. Because what I realized was it wasn't even about learning anything to be in that room. It was about the actual connections itself. I was paying $5,000 to be in the room so that I could connect with the other 20 people that were there. Not so much about learning something, right? Learning was the bonus. Connecting with people, building relationships with people across the country that were doing different things that could help me in my business and things that I was doing. That was what was most critical. So that's my answer on that.
Hey Nas, hold on before you answer that. My producers in the back are telling you see how everybody is on the same level and you all the way down there.
Yeah, Nas, why you gotta sit in the seat like that?
So the producers are saying it makes it hard for them to do their job when they go edit it later. You see how half of your face is in the screen?
Yeah, what am I doing wrong, bro? I got it. Hey, Dave, can you move in with me, bro? Hold on, bro. I'm trying to fix this.
He said, "Can you move in with me?"
Hey, yo, listen. Shout out to Max's producers for the video from the other week. Yo, that video, I'm still dying on that clip, man.
Yeah, I got the $300. Hey, look, I got the $300 camera Max told me to get. Now I'm trying to $300 for this, y'all. We do the show for free. So I got the camera, man. I'm just I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Am I okay? I can sit like this, right?
Bring your camera down a little bit.
All right.
Boom. Right there. Now bring it back up a little.
You went a little too far, man.
You went a little too high. Boom.
There it is.
All
All right. So before you answer the question, I wanted to add a fourth member to this panel tonight. A good friend of mine, homie, somebody I look up to, OG in the game, Vince Harris. So bring Vince on, and then we'll continue.
Let's go.
What's up,
Let's
Vince?
go. Let's go.
What's goody?
Vince,
What's
what's
happening,
up,
fellas?
You see that
Man,
setup?
good to see you.
Nah, do you see that setup?
I see
Man,
this up, bro.
Yeah, listen,
Hey,
yo, what's
Inbox
going on,
like,
Nas?
like, yo, how come your camera looks so good and mine don't? You know what I
Yo,
mean?
my joint look like the poor man's Maxwell set. That's what I'm working with here.
No,
Nah.
you're fly.
Yours look good, bro.
Nah, listen, Nas, we gonna have to get on payroll or something, bro. Now, Vince gonna have
You
to
lying?
hire us. Vince gotta
Yo.
hire me. Max gotta hire me. These two gentlemen are two bosses, man. They gotta get me on payroll or something.
Yo,
man.
CJ set though, all jokes aside, CJ set is nuts, cuzzo.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
I'll wait till
man,
I
I just be
house.
chilling, man. I just be chilling.
House, right? I got something for y'all. But let me say this, bro. And Max told me to get a $300 webcam, right? And I got a $300 webcam. It's 300 American dollars, not pesos. So I got 300 American dollar webcam. At this point, I'm accepting it. You know what I mean? Like my picture is still not as good as theirs.
Y'all remember when Red Man went on Cribs?
That's Nas for sure. That's Nas for sure, man.
Yeah, remember that, bro. We was talking about that. I was in high school. We talked about that episode next day. Everybody was talking about that.
Hey,
yeah.
Nas, listen. I'm gonna come out and pimp your house out with the tech, right?
There it is.
So I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna come there. My team gonna come in there.
I'll be going straight to Dave. I'll be texting Dave. So,
Yeah,
right,
we gonna come up to your new house, so we gonna check you out. Don't worry.
All
about
right, yeah. I want to get a new camera. I talked to Dave and Dave okayed it. So I'm gonna speak to you too. So you give me the okay, and I'm gonna buy the whole kit joint. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I do is hit Dave. I just be like, Dave, just tell me what to get. Just tell me what to buy.
Move. That's the move, man.
Yeah.
So before I really interrupted, Nas, how would you say somebody gets into the circle that they want to get into?
I gotta say, just grind it off, grind. And right now, you gotta meet people where you're at. So I have to say, well, we can't go to meetings right now due to the COVID. If you're in wholesaling houses elite, what I would like for you to do, start asking questions. Start contributing to the group. You're gonna naturally build relationships with people. Like, this is literally how I built relationships with guys like CJ and all that. It was a face. Max wasn't around. He was all late and stuff. He wasn't around at that time. So another Facebook group as I built a following, built relationships, all that. I'm talking about people staying at my house and all that. So us traveling the world, you know what I mean? But you have to meet people where you're at. Like, so for example, right? I might be successful in the eyes of you guys. However, if I want to get lunch with Warren Buffett, that's out of the question. I have nothing. It was how much? What was the last one?
$3.5 million.
$3.5 million for a 45-minute lunch with that man at this point. And I don't bring anything to the table. So I got to build my way up if I really want that opportunity to have lunch with him. And it's going to cost $3.5 million. So what I say is build where you're at. You the free content, just implement it so you can, contribute to the groups and stuff. And oh yeah, let me say this, right? I didn't intentionally ignore my man Max. You know what I'm saying? It's just
it's all good, bro. You don't have to explain it now.
Okay, I get to we live, right? I'm walking around. People like, oh, it's the guru. They going crazy. My ego is blowing up. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? You know what I mean? I'm giving them the douchebag treatment, like, you know what I'm saying? So, right? So I'm going to lunch. Right? And when I'm going to lunch, boy's attorney, I went blank. We were just talking about the guy. Derek, he said, man, we used to watch your YouTube videos back in the day. He's like, yo, you inspired all this stuff. And I'm feeling good, right? Then, like, after the event, right? So I see Max, like, yo, come back here, blah, blah. he's all happy and shit, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, why is this guy happy to meet me? Like, I'm really not this successful. Like, this here, like, this is insane what we got going on here, right? So we backstage, we talking, like, then, I get my 15 minutes on stage and all that. And I went back to my friends and I said, yo, this Max guy? No, he's no, he's the real deal. No, CJ's in that group chat. I'm like,
I remember this.
Yo, no, he's for real. No, he's not fake. No, this is real. This is real.
Nas definitely reported back. He came back. He said, listen.
Okay.
He said, yo, that brother Max. He said that boy cold, man. He the real deal, man.
Hey, yo, let me tell you this, right? Let me tell you for all of us. Okay, so what you're gonna see, right, is a lot of gurus when they have an event, because events are hard to do. When they have an event, they'll say, yo, okay, it's sold out. So I'm thinking the man, yes, I'm thinking he BSing or whatever, but no, he really like, no, it's sold out, no more tickets. Like they would turn the people around. Like for whatever reason, people thought they could fly into town and just show up at the event and buy their way in the door. It was like, yo, no, it's at capacity, sold out. Like people like, yo, he really sold out. It was over 200 people in this room. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? I was impressed with it. And I was proud of you too, son. I told you that though.
Appreciate that.
I'm still Michael Jordan, so don't try to take my title. But
wait, who is Vince?
Yeah, who's Vince?
Because I'm Bill Cartwright. You know what I mean?
Tony Kukoc, right?
You Tony Kukoc. so Vince, Vince is legend. He's been around longer. So
I might be Horace Grant.
So I was gonna give you Phil Jackson.
Yo, the Zen Master. Yo, I'll take that.
I like that.
You're Phil, but these two guys, I'm Mike. So yeah.
Hey, yo, you talking about 2018, right? Are we live?
Yeah.
2018. That was a Charlotte one. Yeah.
Man, let me tell you something. I have never laughed so hard.
I'm saying, bro.
At a non-comedy show in my life, fam.
This dude, you give Nas a mic, man. He gonna have you going. He gonna have you tripping, man.
He said,
"I don't know how to act in front of a crowd, man."
Didn't he said one time his teacher caught him cheating on a test, and he got nervous, so he didn't know what to do, so he fought the teacher.
So I had to fight him.
We didn't fight, but I tried to fight. So what happened was the teacher caught me cheating. All right, so it was U.S. political science or U.S. science or whatever. So this back in the day where I used to go to chuckii.com. You get an essay. This is before turnitin.com. Fortunately, I graduated before that, turnitin.com. So I got the joint off the internet, right? So I didn't even read it. You know what I mean? There was no need for me to read it. Because you know what I'm saying? I give it to the teacher.
The whole paper.
I give it to him. So when I walk up, he like, yo, come here, let me talk to you. He said, you didn't write this. I said, what? Just talk to me. What do you mean I ain't write this? Hey, yo, bro, you was telling me? He like, if you wrote this, tell me how much money did the Clinton administration spend on XXX? Hey, yo, bro. Unfortunately, he was scared.
Yo, I'm over here crying, bro.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, he didn't want to fight, so he talked it out with me, and he just said, "Look, don't do this again." I mean, but he never stood up. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know what to do. I was like, "You gotta fight now," because he caught me cheating. I was in the wrong, so I just might as well go all the way wrong now.
I'm over here crying because I didn't know Nas at that point, so I didn't know what to expect with when he got on stage, bro. He just had us rolling about his story.
You just handed him the mic. He just got loose.
Yeah, he just crazy, man. So
hey,
cool,
Max,
man.
I see this question I want you to pop up.
Yeah.
Roland Hamilton says, can y'all maybe drop some gems on going from early struggles to then financially free, how that affects your mindset? Financial PTSD is a real thing.
I seen that question. I felt that one.
Yeah, that was deep, man. That's deep. Nas, you take that first, man. Actually, Vince, let us know your thoughts on that.
Let me intro Vince real quick because people not know him, but Vince is the brains. Vince and Justin is the brains behind a lot of the things you guys see me do outside of just the actual wholesale itself. Like, these guys are visionaries. They've been in the game way before me, and I was happy to link with them. Unlike Nas, I did respond to them when they hit me up. But you know, Vince is a solid cat. He has a podcast called Heart of the City. He has dope guests. He just interviewed a real dope guest, which I ain't gonna break out the hat. But Vince is a former finance guy. Done deals, is currently doing deals, and he lives up in the New York, New Jersey area. But so Vince, yeah. So when Vince speaks, I listen because he's very wise. But so go back to that question real quick, guys. Yeah. So there you go. What's your version of your answer to that question?
I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Seriously. You know, it's a great question. I think the thing that I take from it is I would probably, and I want everybody to chime in, I'd probably reverse the order of things, because he says, can y'all drop some gems on the, you know, going from early struggles to free, how that affects your mindset? I think what you will find is that in order to get financially free, it is something we talk about a lot. Your mindset probably needs to change first, right? There will definitely be evolution once you get to that place, and your definition of free, which I'm happy to give mine, and everybody can give theirs if they like to. But I think, and I know Max talks about this a lot. I hope y'all believe it, man. Like, you really are going to have to change your mindset first.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get to a place where you think that the best of life is for you, right? Success is for you. You deserve it. You got to go out and work for it too, but you got to get that mindset thing right first. So I think the mind changes first. I guess that'd be my first comment. But in terms of what happens when you get to that place, so for me, the definition of free, I talk about free in three different terms. I talk about free, rich, and wealthy. And Max has heard this a million times. To me, free is you're not dependent on a job, right? So maybe you still have a job, but you don't depend on it. You can cover your monthly expenses from other things. Rich is you make 10 times what you need, and wealthy is you make 100 times what you need. That's my personal definition. You could take it or leave it, but it takes into account what's coming in as well as what's going out the door. Because you can make $100 million a year, but if you spend 150, it don't matter.
Don't matter.
So to me, the first thing that we should all be trying to hurry up and get to is to get free. You guys should go and listen to the very first episode of our podcast, which was Max. And the title of that episode is Get Free. And, you know, Max talks about it too. Like, he said that what happened to him, I don't want to steal his thunder, but he said when he got to that place, he was like, I can do whatever I want for whoever I care about, as long as my heart tells me it's the right thing to do. I'm not worried about if they're going to do something that I didn't intend. I'm not worried about loaning people money and they don't pay me back, right? You know, your mindset around all those things changes. You do the things that you are led to do.
Correct.
You know, anyway, I think your mind changes first to get to that place. And then once you get there, these are the kinds of changes that happen in your mind.
Yeah.
You see how he come with the whole
wisdom,
intellectual
man.
answer?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
you can tell that dude's smart, man.
Yeah, Nas, go ahead and follow with your BS, because it don't even matter what you about to say. Because I'm just joking.
Y'all simple, man.
Go ahead, Nas. What you say? How do you go from the early struggles and then to financially free?
One of the things I did and I encourage people was I got heavy into self-development. So one of the things that in every self-development book you're going to read is basically, don't let your current situation determine your future. So focus on the past, you know, make peace with it, let go, focus on your future. So I just had that mindset. And like I spoke on, I want to say last week or so, with me, my motivation was I was getting a paycheck with no comment. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nothing more motivating to graduate from college, and then you go out to corporate America scene and you getting a paycheck with no comment and a call center. I was too ambitious to accept that. So me, I was a little bit different than others. I just no way I was going to accept that. I was not going to be Nasser the call center guy for the rest. No, bro. That was not my destination or what I was supposed to do in life. So that just kept me motivated to continue going, and just I never looked at myself as a poor person. When people look at me as someone stupid and someone broke, I didn't look at myself like that. You know what I'm saying? So It's all about how you look at yourself. Is how you're gonna fit. How you feel about yourself is what you're going to achieve and accomplish in life. Because if you don't look at yourself with respect and someone with high morals and standards, what's going to happen if you do get that check is going to disappear and you're going to end back at one because you gave it all away. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, just it's all about how you feel yourself, and you gotta feel about yourself, and you have to change your mindset, bro.
Yeah, that's huge, man. You see that recurring answer in everybody's response to it is the mindset. CJ, what about yourself? What are some things, because you had it early on in life?
Yeah, man, I had a lot of success when I was really young, in my early 20s, and I've got to say again, mindset. I don't know if I had a broken mindset necessarily. I always had the mindset that Vince said a very key word that I thought was important. He used the word deserve. I think it's critical we all understand and develop the belief system that whatever your definition of success is, whatever that might be, you actually deserve it, right? It's not just for me. It's not for Nas, Vince, Max, or whoever else. We all equally deserve whatever we define success to be. So my mindset was in a space where I realized that the decisions that I was making, things that I were doing, a lot of it, and us as young men, we can identify with these things. I was in my early 20s. We do things to satisfy or to look good for other people, right? So I don't want to accept my struggle or where I'm at right now because I want to look good for everybody else. I don't want people to talk about me. I care what people think, right? So what I had to do is I had to get to a space internally where I didn't care about those things. I knew I was working towards a goal. I knew I was trying to accomplish something and make something happen. And in order for me to be able to do that, I had to free myself from making decisions based on what I wanted people to think, right? And so when I developed that ability in my mindset, then it really all became super simple, right? It was that I have the belief system. I know that I deserve this. Now I got to put up the work, right? So like the first part is getting that mindset piece straight and realizing that, and I hate the word struggle. Like it's perfectly okay to struggle. It's perfectly okay to be at a spot right now that's not ideal or where you want it to be. People have this broken concept of time that, oh, I'm 40 years old and I got to do this right away, or this has to happen this year. Like that's all BS, man. Like if you're 40, right? Like we can logically say that you have a good another 40 years left in your entire life, right? God willing, right? So if you sit there and think about everything that you've been able to do, your failures, your successes, whatever the case might be, in the previous 40 years, now knowing what you know today, what can you do in the next 40 years? And that's in that additional amount of time, right? So it's just mindset. Once you overcome that, financially free is whatever you really want it to be. That's individual, right? Vince already hit on that. It just comes down to, let me get my mindset straight. And I think it's important. I talk about this a lot. As you grow in business, as you do well, you're going to struggle. Things are not going to go the right way. We all were on a call the other day, and Vince was talking about some things post-COVID, right? Like that's how business works. That's how life works. It's an up and down. It's not like once you get to a certain spot, now all of a sudden everything is good. Nothing's going to be bad. But if you have your mindset straight up front, when you first get into this thing, I know a lot of people watching this are at the beginning stages. If you get that mindset straight up front, when you got to fight those battles during your successes later, now you're mentally strong enough and tough enough to deal with those things at that time.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And you see, if anybody's been to any of my events or been to somewhere where I've been a guest speaker, I actually rarely speak about actual real estate. If you come to my events, you see that myself, I speak not that much about real estate. I have a segment or two in real estate, but I speak a lot about mindset. But I bring some of the brightest and best minds in real estate so you can absorb that. But we always start the show and end the show with mindset. And I know it sounds corny and people overuse it a lot because it's a buzzword. But you have to think about this. There's roughly 18 million millionaires in America. Right? And you say, okay, so everybody's definition of success usually involves an M or two, right? So let's just say, okay, you want to be one of those 18 million people. You're like, man, 18 million is a lot of people. But take the 350 million people we have in America. So if you line up 10 people, not even one person, barely one person will be a millionaire out of that entire group, right? So if you're saying that if you line up 100 people, very so few of them are going to be millionaires. So you got to be able to do what the very so few do to get where you want to get. It just is what it is. So you have to say, okay, whatever I've learned in my entire life, I want to challenge it inside my own head every single day. Right? Because if everybody wants to be this, but rarely one out of 10 are this, then I need to be focusing on things that other people are not doing. I have to go out and do things and challenge myself on do the opposite. I mean, I go even minute as saying, who said the right shoe had to be on the right foot and the left shoe had to be on the left foot? Right? Challenge your everyday thoughts and start doing it, because we have it to where we're supposed to have fun and play games in our 20s and, teens, 20s and 30s, and then try to hustle in our 30s to get to be where we want to be successful. Why we don't know that's a trap? So you have to start challenging every single thing that you want to do and every single thing that you have been taught. And once you start unlearning some of the bad habits you've had just from being around bad habits, you'll start to change. And you have to look at those 1% of those people and say, what are they doing that I'm not? And you start to challenge yourself every single day to do what whatever your current friends are doing, do the opposite. If they go out and hang out, do the opposite. If they drink, do the opposite. No matter what they do the opposite. And once you unlearn a lot of the stuff and start to see, because, I tell this story a lot where I was in a cigar bar here locally, and one of the guys, I wasn't really familiar there. And the guy's like, yeah, you know what? I offered him $160,000 salary and he took the job. And they all started laughing. And I'm like, why are they laughing? Because the guy that gave the 162 didn't know his value.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm assuming that conversation went that he came and asked for more money, then he got it, then he took it, and they all started laughing. So you have to understand that. And that's crazy. 160, right? 5 years ago, I used to pray for a 6-figure job.
Man.
He
worked 10 times that.
That's a bad week.
Yeah.
So you really have to change everything you've learned and get around people that do things different and change the inside, because that financial independent, or what do you say, the financial PTSD is a real thing. You have no idea that you don't know.
That's real.
You have no idea that everything you know is effed up. Yeah, but it's time to relearn, but it's never too late. I got an email the other day, I think from like a 70-something, 80-year-old lady, said she ready to go. I said, let's go at it. So change your mindset. That's number one, man. Go, like he said, go against the grain. Go against the grain. That was the second.
You laid it down with that one. I mean, that's just real, bro.
That was a good question.
Because don't y'all say you see life now overall like you walk around with a different pair of contacts lenses than anybody else?
Absolutely.
Like you just see it, you just get it now, and it's hard.
Man. Go ahead, my bad.
Go ahead.
All I was gonna say, man, is what you're saying is so critical and important, because what you're talking about, that different lens. See, what you see, the difference you see now is you have the ability to see opportunity, right? Exactly. So before, see, we just struggling to get day to day, right? So we waking up every single day. Even when you're making 160, you're not happy to go to work. Right. So when you change that lens, I love that analogy. When you change that lens, See, now you look at the world based on opportunity. And then now you're able to see opportunity as it's in front of you. So when Vince reached out to you that day, right, not knowing what anything could be, you saw opportunity, right?
100%. I was in DC in less than 10 days.
Literally.
It's a different lens.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Because before that, I think, you living in the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when you get to this place that homeboy is talking about, it's like you take that red pill and everything starts to fall away, right? All the edifice, all the stuff that you thought was real life, that you thought was necessary, that you thought you had to go through. You had to go work for somebody for 40 years and you had to retire on 40% of what you make. Like all that stuff starts to fall away. It's a beautiful place to be.
Yo, that's so real, bro. It's so real, man. I'm 37. So guys, my account, I got fired at 29. Okay. I was talking this entrepreneurship stuff before it was like a common word. Today, it's a common word. My godson is a freshman. Nephews, I got nephews as freshmen and all that, and entrepreneurship is a common word in that generation too, as well. It's common. It's not. It's yeah. So everyone knows what it is, man. But when I was getting into it, bro, people was looking at me and my twins. They were looking at me crazy. Some people understood it. A lot of them didn't. But the ones that didn't understand it, when they run into me, like on the street, because I people like that, or have interaction with people like that, it might be on my social media because my tweets, I was wild. I was adding people I work with on social media. So with that being said, some of them have reached out. Hey, yo, bro, now I get what you're talking about, bro. I now realize that this job, I will never provide the life for my job. You know what I mean? People want the most simplest things. Like I'm blessed, all praises due. You know what I mean? Alhamdulillah, I'm blessed. I cannot deny that because everybody on this call, right? We can look at, we can go on Instagram and say things like, yo, man, this guy, yo, so the hot tub is Iceland. Like I went to Iceland a few years back. So I'm researching this joint. So wait, it's 30 degrees outside, snow outside, but the hot tub is 90? Oh no, I gotta go there. We don't have to plan it for 12 months, 14 months. It's something that I can just do. You know what I mean? Granted, the only thing that was stopping me was my schedule and time. But the most important factor of money wasn't stopping me. And now, so many people that they just want to take their wife on vacation and they're realizing that the jobs are just not going to provide the life that they want. So once you get to this side of the things, man, it's a total blessing, man. It's a real blessing. And just stay focused, and just get your mind right. But that mind has to get right. Somebody has a great question. My man, was that Jesus Chavez or Jesus? Whoever that is, highlight that question, Dan.
Jesus.
What is the best book you guys have read? I get that a lot. And I don't think there's a singular book because I think what happens is books really, for me anyways, depend on where I am at what point in time and the reason why I'm reading it. It could mean different things, but you guys, what about you guys?
I don't feel like I got one particular book. I know a new book that we've all kind of read and talked about, new 50 Cent book, man. I really like that book a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of game in that book, a lot of life game, business game, how to use perspective or understand perspective properly. I think that's important. So I think 50 touched on that really well in that book. And I like 48 Laws of Power is a long time book for me.
Yeah.
It's one that I refer back to sometimes. And I think that's a book of perspective and understanding. So that's another one for sure.
What about you, V?
Yeah, I like both of those. In fact, I like everything Robert Greene does. That's who did 48 Laws of Power and also did, ironically, 50th Law of Power with 50. Yeah. They wrote that together. You know what I mean? So I would definitely put those in there. I don't really have a favorite either, man. But a business book, because I think that's probably what they're getting at, is a business book that I read in the last year or two that was really, really good. It's called The Way of the SEAL, and written by a Navy SEAL. And again, talking about mindset, but just the way that he talks about achieving very, very high performance kind of blew me away. That was a dope book.
Nas, what about you?
All right, so I read a lot of great books, especially in the beginning of my on this journey of entrepreneurship. So I'll say I'll say this. I'm joking, it's not COVID. So with that being said, I'll say this. Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. Think and Grow Rich.
I just heard about that the other day.
Great book.
Yeah, Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice by Dennis Kimbro.
Yeah.
Dennis, a legend type author. So, but just to give you a little info about the book. So Napoleon Hill was making the Think and Grow Rich specifically for Black people, but unfortunately he passed. So therefore, the family allowed Dennis Kimbro to finish the book. And this book was written probably early 90s, man. It's still relevant today, man. It's a great book. You should definitely buy it.
Vince, was that you that was telling us about that book the other day?
That was B. Rule I was talking about.
B-Rule. Okay, all right, yeah. No, I put that one down to get it. I need to make sure to do that.
Yeah,
you gotta get Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. Absolutely.
So, question for y'all, man. Vince, I'll throw it out to you. What keeps you going every day? In most people's eyes, you're fairly successful. You don't really have to want for anything, but every day you get up, you hustle. It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, and you're in the office. What makes you keep going?
Good question. I think for me, man, it's honestly, it's legacy. It's really about leaving something. I got 2 kids. I got a son and a daughter, and that's really what motivates me, man. I also, like a lot of people, I suspect maybe everybody on this call, coming up, I did not have financial security. You know what I'm saying? And so there's that little piece, that PTSD that homeboy was talking about. I still have some of that, and I'm always it could all go away.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm always trying to just further secure the family. I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more of a buffer. Right. So those are the things that drive me, is really providing for the family, next generation.
So when you have mostly what you need, you stop doing for yourself, and you're always thinking about the legacy. What you gonna leave?
Absolutely, 100%. Especially for Black folk. I mean, this is a conversation we could spend an hour on just by itself. But
right.
The reason that the primary reason that the wealth disparity is what it is because Black folk just they've had so much wealth stolen. Let's be clear. And so as a result, there has not been the ability to pass down wealth, to create legacy. And I'm just really passionate about it, man. We got to correct that.
So what about you, Nas?
My biggest motivation, is I would say not to go to a job. That's it, bro. Just not to go back into a job, bro. So that's my biggest motivation, man. And like Vince said, I came in the hood, but my mother, college graduate from NCCU, shot the Eagles. So with that being said, man, just leaving that legacy, leaving the legacy of having something, because if you guys get a chance and you have Amazon Prime, then you have Amazon Prime TV. If you got Prime TV, there's a great documentary called Owned, the two sides of America. So Owned, the two sides of America, and it gets into exactly what Vince was talking about. And just quick info on it. It's like this, right? So my grandfather, Nasser's grandfather, fought in World War II. He, risked his life for the country. However, going in there on the GI Bill, he was promised to be able to buy a house wherever he wanted to buy that, right? And the government was going to back it. What happened was when soldiers came through, they honor that for the white soldiers and not the black soldiers. And on top of them honoring that, there were neighborhoods that only whites can live in, and the black soldiers couldn't live in. So therefore, what happened was when the next generation got inherited those houses, they received houses that were worth anywhere between $100,000 and $300,000. Fast forward to 2020. If you got told you inherited $300,000, you're probably going to do a backflip wherever you stand at because you're happy. $300,000 money today. So, all right. So we were basically left out of that wealth transfer. So our white counterparts, they got the wealth transfer, and what we got was the ghettos. So this was intentionally done. And in the documentary, they go into details, and it's really good. But I definitely want to leave something, leave something for my future kids and have that legacy. I mean, because we're not starting from, first base. I got past first base, so now let's pick up from third base.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Nas, CJ, what about yourself? What keeps you going?
Yeah, legacy is a big piece of it, obviously, man. I'm a country boy from South Carolina, man. My parents, my mother's side were sharecroppers. I come from descendants of slaves. My father, his side of the family, island folks, slaves, right? And so I'm keenly aware. I was raised on the understanding by my parents that, when you're our age, right? Like our parents were the first generation African Americans, black folks, right? That had any clear shot at any type of decent opportunity in America, right? Like I'm talking about our parents, right? If you're in our age group, literally our parents had the first decent shot to do anything of any substance in America. Like you got to understand what I'm saying, right? And my parents raised me to understand that. So I'm trying to push and force my lineage to be able to skip some steps.
Yeah.
Right. Like that it's like you're running a race and the people in front of you are so far ahead, but they're still visible. Even though you think they're not, they're still visible. So for me, I know I can catch up. I know I can catch my family up with me, but I also know that it's on me to get that done. So I got to make those sacrifices. I got to work those 7 days a week. I got to be in here right now doing stuff like this. I got to make these types of things happen because that's the sacrifice and commitment that it's going to take to catch up. And everybody's not going to understand that. There's people in my life that don't understand that. And I get that. The hope is at some point when it's finally all caught up, it'll make sense then. But I live with the impression, with the understanding that if I don't make these sacrifices, if I don't try to make these things happen, then somebody eventually in my line is going to have to do it, right? Like if we're ever going to get caught up, somebody in my line is going to have to step up to the plate, make some sacrifices to make it happen. I'm willing to be that person. I'm willing to step up, sacrifice time, energy, all of that to try to make these things happen for my family, for my life. And the second part of that is it's the new challenges, right? Like we always say, man, when I make X, man, I'm done, man, I'm good. That's never really what it is because we love the game, but we say that, but we all love the game. You know what I mean? So for me, it's always that next challenge. Like that next challenge for me is those bigger development projects that we've been talking about, right? Like my mind is locked in, I'm focused on that because I know that that's the tool, that's the key for me and my skill set that's going to help me close that gap, that's going to help me catch up, right? Vince has that interview coming out with Donahue Peebles, the godfather of this, right? He talks a lot about that. Vince, you haven't dropped it yet, right?
No, I think we're going to drop it next week.
He didn't even announce it, but you just did.
What's that?
He didn't even announce it, but you just did.
Oh, I thought he put it out.
No, you good. You good, fam.
My bad. I thought I saw you put a picture of it out. I apologize. My mistake, brother. I did not mean to take that from you. My apologies.
You good, bro. You good.
Hey, Dave, I know you listening. Edit that out, please.
Right.
All right. Get that out of there. All right. But my point is we got these figures that showed us the blueprint and it's available here for us right now to implement, to make happen. it's imperative that we use our abilities to do these things and catch up.
So at the end of the day, we're all entrepreneurs, right? So let's talk about outside of real estate. What are you guys doing outside of real estate? Income wise, new venture wise, business wise. Do you guys have anything?
Nah, I'm all 100% in, bro.
My wife and I are doing a couple of things, man. So we're in the process of getting some vending machines, and
Facebook Marketplace.
yeah, exactly. That's the lick right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. I got my daughter started with a Forex class a few weeks ago, and she's still paper trading, but she's gonna have to teach me. She is killing, bro. Like killing, fam. So
that even conversation, you know, your young daughter is doing that. That's just crazy, man. Anyways, keep going, man.
yeah, that's it. She's 13. She's dope. I mean, she gets it apparently. And I have a financial services background. I have never done Forex. I don't know the currency market. So she literally is going to have to teach me. I mean, I paid for her to get this course, but she's going to end up teaching me. So, you know, we have a, family business meeting every so often and just figure out what are the different irons we have in the fire. So right now it's vending machines. It's her Forex, which may become a family thing, not just hers.
Mm-hmm.
We got some other little stuff going on too.
CJ, you doing anything like you are you all in? You all focused right now? I know you got the.
No, I'm locked in and focused on my coaching program, man. It's crazy because when you kind of put that bug in me, man. When I first started thinking about it and talking about it, I'm a true real estate guy, man. I love the deal. I love the art of the hustle, the grind, looking at properties, talking. I love all of that stuff. But I realized that part of our responsibility, you blaze this path. A lot of our responsibility, man, is to show people that this stuff is really possible. Like we're not geniuses, other than Vince, right? We're not geniuses. We don't got no secret sauce, right? And so I'm motivated and inspired, man, to show people the way, to help people get into wholesaling. Because you can get in without credit, you can get in without tons of cash. Like that stuff isn't a joke, you know. So I feel motivated, man, because wholesaling is the catalyst to what got me to where I'm at right now. All the stuff that I've done in the last 10 years would not have been possible without wholesaling, because I didn't have the money to buy the ticket to get in the game, right? I was stuck watching it from outside the arena. Wholesaling snuck me in the back door, right? So now people see the apartments, people see these different things. None of that was possible whatsoever without getting in and started wholesaling, man. So I'm motivated, like I said, and inspired to help people learn and understand the business, just like you guys are, man. Because I know we know how important this is for people to grasp it, for people to get it and implement it and put it to work.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us to talk about our outside real estate ventures, because a lot of people are attracted to us, that people try to get forced into real estate, liking real estate. And, and it's not made out for everybody. You know, I feel like everybody should be involved in real estate in somehow, some way, whether you have your personal house and maybe one other house, but we should talk about that. And I think what I'm doing with my vlogs when I get back from Mexico is we're going to start restructuring my YouTube content to where I start actually showing all the other stuff that I do as well too. Because I don't talk about a lot of the other stuff I do. I mean, I own a mobile billboard company where we have trucks on the road that have mobile billboards on them. What else? I own ATM machines. Agency.
Right.
I have an agency that Dave and I own that we manage sports athletes in the Western world, particularly PBR, professional bull riding, which is on CBS Sports. I have, I keep going. I got so much stuff. I'm working on investing in a gun manufacturing company. And there's just so many other things that I'm going to start to show. Mm-hmm. A lot of it. There's a whole web of them that we've written out. But I think it's important, man. I think it's important And yes, real estate has afforded me to go out and go do these things. I want to make that clear. And all of these things that I was craving, all these ideas that I was craving before, we were definitely, trying to get to. Before I get to my next question, Stanley, man, keep your head up, bro. Because let me tell you something. This year, September 28th, 2000, and this year, when it reaches September 28th, I will have been 4 years. 4 years ago, I was living at my mother's house.
Look at God.
I got my first contract signed September 28th, right? So
Wow.
4 years ago, I was living in my mother's house with nothing, a negative bank account, no future, no nothing. And I'm in this position I am now only because I knew, back to Vince's word, I deserved more. And once you know you deserve more, you wake up with a whole nother attitude, and a whole nother go-getter mentality, right? So you need to start building something for the future, build what you want, and do what you want to do. So keep your head up, man, because everybody likes to go around here and show off their flashy stuff. And I'm talking about the internet world. Show off their flashy stuff, talk about what they made this week, this month, or whatever. Let me tell you something. Everybody that you see doing that is not maybe comfortable talking about the struggles they have went through to get to the point where they can even show you that type of stuff. But I'm very open and okay with it. I went through struggles to get to it. I still struggle every day. I still have to have this, my mental check in the morning to make sure that I'm good. There's a thing that we do in the pilot community. We have a bunch of acronyms. One of them is I'm safe, right? And each one of those acronyms means something. So when I wake up and do things, I have my own acronym to go through to make sure I'm good, because I have to get up in the morning and serve the people that work with me and make sure I'm continuing the legacy and moving forward. So use me as an example. And my parents are not even first generation. I'm the first generation American. Right. So understand that you don't have to come. You're a guy barely graduated high school. Don't know how. Barely graduated high school. Definitely didn't go to college. Had to go to the military because that was my only option. So you have to understand that you're going to go through a lot. And it's just what life is. But if you stick it out, you will see the end. And the end will look beautiful. The journey is beautiful. But the people that give up, they don't get to see it. And you never know. The crazy thing about the journey of success is you never know when the next step turns into what it is, turns into what you've been looking for.
That's the dopest part, though, man.
You never know, right? You never know
the
next step. You never know the next day. All those no's you get. And then the next day it could be the yes that changed your life. For me, it was 114 Flintfield Drive. That phone call, that changed my life. That set me on a blazing path to put me where I am now. And if you think I'm bad now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Talk about it.
So you gotta. So Stanley, that's for you. I've been reading your comments, and I want you to know to just keep your head up. I ain't gonna dwell on it, but I'm just gonna say, keep your head up, bro, because all of us have been in a position where you are now.
The dopest part about it, man, is, I mean, when I think back, 12 years ago, I was living at home. I mean, it was days I used to wake up crying because I was hit. I was hurt.
Or not even want to wake up.
Yeah, like you just like, man,
you can sleep this off.
You know how it is, man. You ready to go to bed because you're just ready for the next day to get there. You know what I'm saying? And what I started to realize was, and this is the beauty in all of our stories, man, is that there's no telling where it can go. Like once it clicked for me that there was no I didn't have to put a label or expectation on where things would go. Like I just had to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And wherever the work took me, I was that I knew that was going to be a beautiful thing. Then you end up in these spaces where you're at, where Vince is at, Nas, all these other people that we know. It just came from just sticking through it and just going through that path of resistance, even though it wasn't easy and it was difficult. Like you push through that, and it's no telling what the other side of that tunnel looks like.
It's a beautiful thing if you stay on it, man. It is a beautiful thing. Vince, you a smart guy, man, and I think the reason why you're so smart is you read a lot. Obviously, you and you read what you're obsessed with. What's going on right now? And I'll be honest with y'all. I've been wanting to call Vince for the last couple weeks, but I've been busy. He's been busy, and this is here's my phone call that would happen to Vince. Vince, hey Vince, what's going on right now? What you think's going on? So I'm about to ask this question right now. Vince, what's going on right now, bro?
I mean, yo, how much time you got? It's like, it's a crazy situation, man. I never thought that I would live to see this, especially even coming out of the financial crisis. This is a whole different animal. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't want to claim to, but I do try to keep my finger on the pulse and, attend different webinars from the big investment banks and the big economists and see what they have to say. And the people
that's what he does. Hold on, Vince. See that stuff? He goes to those webinars that the banks have. He what do you read those files that they put out at the end of the year?
Yeah, 10Ks and 10Qs.
Yeah, he reads all that stuff. Go ahead. Sorry.
10Ks and 10Qs are actually pretty fascinating. I'll just put that out there. That's a fairly nerdy thing to do, but just a final thing on that. If you are interested in what makes a business tick, a public company anyway, it's public information. Go read their 10K, which is their annual filing. Go read their 10Q, which is their quarterly filing. All you got to read, don't get overwhelmed by the size of the document. Just go read what they call the MD&A, the Management Discussion and Analysis. It's 10, 15 pages. You'll know everything that makes that business tick. Anyway, enough about that. But what I would say is it's crazy, bro. I think we're gonna have second wave. Not I think we're already starting to have second wave. And there's a really high likelihood the second wave will be worse than first wave. Right. And unfortunately, as with everything else in this economy, the people that are going to be hurt by it the most are the folks that are hourly workers, right? The folks that can least afford to have a big shock to their household. So I worry about that, man. I think that it could be really, really scary. The other thing, and I'll say this last point and I'll shut up, is that part is kind of baked in. People kind of get that now. It was the hourly workers that got furloughed or what have you. But the other shoe that I think is going to drop is that what COVID did was it exposed some other problems in the economy, right? Money was way too cheap. That's the biggest one. So you had companies really gorging themselves on cheap money and standing up businesses that never should have been stood up. You dig? Because if you can borrow for damn near free, as long as you project this business will make 4%, that's a return. You know what I'm saying? Right. And now all of a sudden you got businesses that are based on models with these tiny ass margins that probably never should have been stood up. And so what's going to happen as COVID is prolongs this downturn is that not just the hourly worker, but now you're going to start to see the higher skilled worker get hit by this thing because he was working at a startup that was venture backed and financed by really, really cheap debt. Right. That's when I think it's going to start to sting. Because now you got white collar professionals, engineers, marketing people, right, who are working in these companies that really never should have got started because they were falsely propped up on cheap money. So those are the things I think about and I worry about as this thing extends.
Vince, real quick, why are my stocks going up? By the way, thank you for telling me about Apple. Thank you for telling me about Apple back in March. I got Apple at 255. They're now at 390. You told me to buy Disney as well. I bought Disney at 92, and they now at 120.
Yeah.
But so why are stocks going up and the world's crashing?
It's a great question.
So a couple of things, and I'm like you, man. Like my portfolio since March, I mean, it's ridiculous how far up it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, frankly, it don't make no sense. I'm not mad. But in the depths of this thing, I was buying stocks every day. Like when the news was the worst, I was buying stocks every day.
You made me. You was like, nah, you should buy it. And I was like, why?
No, dead ass. You need to buy now.
Yeah.
But they're going up to answer your question for a couple of reasons. Because the people who got most hurt are the folks that we talked about. The people like everybody on this call, Nas and CJ and me and you, who frankly haven't been all that hurt by COVID.
My joint went up.
I mean,
Everything.
You probably have extra money. So people in that tax bracket, in that income bracket, don't trick off money. That's, they don't. So if they have some extra, they invest it or they save it. And so it causes there's an inflationary impact when things like this happen, because the money that folks in a certain income bracket have, they put into appreciating assets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just your stocks. Look around the country at home prices. Home prices
selling in 24 hours.
Yeah, they're selling fast and selling in bidding wars because the professionals, frankly, haven't been hurt too bad by COVID. So all asset prices right now are a little bit elevated.
Yeah, man, this is good, man. I'm glad we're able to be on here for an hour and a half. Vince, I know you got some things. First of all, listen, everybody was like, yo, I really love these podcasts. Let me tell you the guy behind the podcasts, Vince. I just threw him on my channel after he had him on his channel for a long time, after he had him on the podcast. So he's the voice behind it. He's actually the brains behind it. I have nothing to do with it other than a phone call that I'm on to break down the deals. First of all, just drop your podcast so people could go subscribe. Get your phone out right now and go subscribe. What is it?
So it's called Heart of the City. It's there's a couple of shows. Most of them are churches that have that name. I'm not sure why churches like that name so much. But Heart of the City, it's got my name on it too, and it's got a skyline, kind of a cityscape on it. Check it out. And the whole idea behind it is just, I happen to know a lot of guys who are performing, and ladies as well, who are performing at a really high level, and just keep kind of a low profile. And they're in cities all around the country. So the idea was just, let's go around the country and let's find these people and let's tell their stories. So we just bring on dope entrepreneurs and let them tell their story. So Heart of the City, go check it out. Again, Max was episode 1, which is nuts. We do have some really amazing guests after that. Don Peebles is on the show.
If y'all don't know who that is, go look him up.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Nah, family, you good. You totally good.
I was so excited when I heard.
Listen, so real quick, everybody that's out there watching, all 567 of y'all right now, listen, do me a favor, and I don't really be asking y'all for much. Whatever you listen to on podcast on right now, I want to be able to do something, and I want to see the effect of it, right? So everybody that has an iPhone, go to your podcast, subscribe to the podcast. It's free, right? And then give a rating. Give a 5-star rating, and let's move his podcast from wherever it is now to when we wake up in the morning to be up in the top 10 in business, right? So everybody, all 568 of y'all, go do that for me. If it's on Spotify, go do the same thing. Go subscribe to the podcast, leave a 5-star. I promise you, it's got like 13 or 14 episodes up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like 14 episodes right now. Yeah.
And go listen to those things. Sleep with those things on. It's just going to put you in the mind frame. And can
I share something real quick?
Please.
So there's a meme going around right now that says something like, you want to have friends in your life that mention your name when they're in rooms where opportunities are being talked about.
Absolutely.
This is that. You see what I'm saying? Like, he didn't even think about it. I didn't ask him to do that. That's just his orientation.
That's how I roll.
You need people in your life that will do that, right? That will say your name in rooms where there are opportunities. So good looking out, brother. Appreciate you.
People do that to me. Y'all do the same with me. I get calls every day at opportunities. I got a call about a Black-owned gun manufacturing company. There's only 4.
Wow.
And I'm going to be investing into one of them. And I'm going to let y'all know about it very shortly. But when we do, we're going to turn that up.
The next thing you need to do is have a gun registration drive. That's what you need to be pushing.
Well, I'm opening 2 gun shops in North Carolina. So I'll be the second Black person to open up a gun shop.
That's what's up.
So I'm opening 2. So that's another business I forget to tell y'all about.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a lot, man. But I love this. And the reason why I love hanging out and doing this and don't even feel like work or anything, it's just, we just hanging. This is y'all get to really see what a group chat looks like. A little Nas always clowning, but he come with some gems. CJ always come with some gems. But man, I love doing this, man. And we do this every 2 weeks. And maybe next week we'll try to get Justin on too. He's a smart brother as well too. That just is like,
He has a new nickname, by the way. Antoine gave him a new nickname.
What is it?
Antoine Campbell gave him the nickname El Chapo because he the plug.
He is the plug. So we're gonna bring on El Chapo.
Yeah.
El Justo, El Chapo.
Yeah.
El Justo.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I appreciate you guys coming on. Nas, you got any departing words?
Yeah, first thing first, I just want to say to you, next time in your private conversations with Vince, when he shares his stock portfolio with you, you share it in our group chat.
Please.
First thing first, right? Like we missed
I need some new shoes too, man.
You know what I'm saying? Missed the whole wave. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the parting words. So thank y'all for tuning in. So you guys can follow me on IG Real Estate Guru. You got real estate questions. Wholesaling with the Guru is the Facebook group. Please, not my DM, not my inbox. Take that to the group. Ask all real estate questions, please. And y'all know the vibes. Y'all gonna see us in 2 weeks. BBWs, holla at me.
Oh, you new to this? You new to this, Vince? I see it.
Yeah, holla at me. DMs is open to y'all. You know what I mean? Show me love. You know what I'm saying? Let a brother know how you feel about it. That's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Oh man, every time.
That's not asking much. That's not asking much.
For him, it's not. CJ, what you got popping, man?
Listen, man. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
I'm hosting a free live web class where I'm going to teach wholesaling. If you're a new investor, startflippingdeals.com. Startflippingdeals.com. Go register. 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Shout out to everybody that stuck through this call with us. I know we kind of skip around. We talk about a bunch of different things. Like Max said, this is really just conversation, right? That's the reason that we're doing this. But everybody deserves opportunity in this business. People should get an opportunity to win, to do great things. And like I said, wholesaling has been able to do that for me. That's why I'm such a champion of wholesaling and telling people about it, getting people involved in it. Max, thank you for the platform, man, and giving us the ability to be able to help people and reach so many people. Big salute to you for that, man.
So CJ, let's call it what it is, bro. Like my man started Charged Up University where and let me be honest with y'all, these guys did not want to get into coaching. Let's just talk about it for a second real quick. And I don't want to get into coaching, right? Because one, I like my freedom, right? And I really love my freedom. But I know I'm leaving about $3 million or so on the table by not doing it. But when I do it, I'm gonna make sure it's done right. But I keep pushing these guys. You know, Chris is a vet in this game. And every time people ask me who can help them, I need to push them to somebody that I know is true, tried and tested in this game. So I was like, yo, CJ, you need to do it, man. You got the time, you got the infrastructure, you got the people around you. Get it done. So he's been having so many people hit him up. And there's been so many success stories in a short amount of time that he's been doing that side of his thing that he's tired of having to do these one-on-one calls to talk to everybody. I'm just gonna call it what it is.
No, that's real, man.
He's tired of doing these introductory one-on-one calls, so he's gonna do a webinar for y'all to explain what wholesaling is. That game is free, and how successful. Show you examples, and then if you feel like you need to get a jump start and you need guidance, then him and his team will help you go to the next level or get started. It's that simple. So it's not that you're gonna go there and get some free gems, but he's gonna give you at the end of it an opportunity to be a part of what it is, right? So
yeah, 110%. We'll give people opportunity to join the program. And shout out to all my students that are on here. I just saw the comment pop up from one of my guys, man. Big shout out to my guy, Bam. Man, I've got so many people that I could name off in my coaching program that I'm so proud of. I love my youth family. Those are my folks, man. They're killing it. So many people just new to the game, new to the business, that I'm able to help, man, and get them the gems in the game they need to figure this thing out and make it happen. Like I talked about on stage at We Live, man, it's so less difficult than we make it. So I just try to simplify the business for people and show them the way, man. But yeah, I got tired of doing those calls every day, man, for sure. So we're gonna knock it out in one webinar.
We be in the group chat and he respond 3 hours later, bro. I don't want to talk about what I was talking about 2 hours ago more. Don't hit me back.
Hey,
Let me tell you
man,
what
I'll
else
be
is
on the
dope
phone. I'll be on the
about.
phone.
I tell you what else is dope about Chris's program. Like I've been on a couple of his lives, but I also have seen, you know, he screenshots real deals. Like this dude is in the street doing deals, and he will show you the bad ones. Like you had one where you had to bring money to the table.
He lost money.
Man, yeah, I had to keep it real.
And
Right.
a lot of cats won't show you that, but you're gonna
Yeah.
learn so much by having him break something like that down.
A lot of cats can't even show you bad deals.
Well, let's talk about it.
That's real too.
But,
Hey Vince, I appreciate that, man. I got to show the wins and the losses, man. I don't shoot 100% from the field, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes we miss shots. Doesn't go the exact way that we wanted to. It is what it is, man. But I had a lender one time. I was losing 40 grand on a deal. This was like 5-6 years ago, and the lender said, "CJ," he said, "Why are you smiling, man? We're at lunch." And I said, "What you mean?" He says, "A great day."
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, you're losing 40 grand." And I said, "Man, I tell you what." I said, if we got on a plane, you could pay for it because you got a lot more money than me. If we got on a private jet and shot out to Vegas right now, went to the craps table and said we're going to play 100 times, but hey, we're going to lose 5. But 95 times we're going to hit that thing and we're going to win.
I'll play every
day. You going to play or not?
All
man?
day.
You got to play the game.
Yeah.
Play every day. Man, this is good, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna let y'all get back to y'all families, do what y'all doing. Man, you know what it is. Subscribe, share this video. I appreciate y'all. Follow me on IG if you're not. Subscribe to my channel. Man, I've been stuck at 100,000+ for I don't know how long now, and I'm so close to 200,000 subs. Y'all go give me some subs.
Right.
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all in real talk, man, and be looking out for some new vlogs talking about more of the entrepreneurship stuff that I'll be doing outside of real estate. That's gonna be good content. I can't wait, man. I go to South Africa in October, so I really hope y'all chill out with this COVID stuff because I was supposed to go pick up my plane I got. I went out and bought a Sling TSI plane so that, I'm tired of renting planes. I have my pilot license, but I'm tired of renting it every time I go in. So went out and bought a plane, and we're going to have some fun, man. I can't wait to show you that. I can't wait to show you more of the entrepreneur stuff. And I'm building my house. So as we get to that point where we actually start putting wood up and foundation, you're going to see more of those vlogs as well, too. So I appreciate every one of y'all, all the support y'all been giving me over the last 3-4 years. And we're going to keep doing, man. Make sure to follow my guys right there on their IG. Take a screenshot of it right now. I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I'll see y'all on the side. Love y'all.
Man.
Peace.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Wow.
Peace.